Hello, 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 hello. So this is my office setup. I don't move. I'm sleeping on a futon cover. I threw my memory foam mattress away. It was like $1,000 mattress, but it's giving me back pain, bro. I'm moving out of the country anyway, so I'm like, I'm just gonna sleep on a futon. I prefer to have very firm mattresses. I think I'm just top heavy. Um, I've got big joints, so yeah, the memory foam was fucking up my lumbars, my lower back. It was not good for my back. I hear the purple mattresses are pretty amazing, but yeah, I bought a handsaw off of Amazon, like a flip up saw, because in Austin, like furniture disposal is expensive as hell. You have to take it to a landfill. It's $100 minimum to dump a mattress or even a couch. So I was like, I bet you I could just chop this into eighths. So I sawed a mattress into 8 chunks and I just threw it in my apartment dumpsters because we have a ton of dumpsters here. Anyways, day in the life. This is my vlogging area. I love this mirror. I wish it was floor to ceiling. When I get to Vietnam, I'm gonna try to rent a really nice kind of penthouse kind of apartment. That's like there's already a building that I like. It's floor to ceiling. It's actually cheaper than what I'm paying here now, and it's like high rise floor. I mean, it looks badass. So we'll see what happens in a few months. But Goose responded to my comment. He's said there's 2 more spots open for Antarctica. I said if I can pull in 20K, I'm down. But you know, he said I spent 9K to get to 30K where I'm at or plus or whatever where I'm at now. I was like, I know, Goosey. Let me make some money first. I'll funnel you. If I can pull in some dough, I will hire you. For higher level skills. I feel like he would know how to help me spin it a little bit, add some flashy tech, AI kind of sell. I feel like that would bring me more of a buzz. But I know, Goosey, we gotta make some money. Um, Anyways, I'm a projector in human design. I like to argue about human design. Sometimes I do think human design is accurate. As me as a projector, if I think back to all my clients, like I haven't had a ton, but all of them messaged me. That was the weird thing. All of them came to me and they say projectors are supposed to wait for the invitation or whatever. So, using my human design strategy, which I like to troll human design people, but it could be kind of accurate. The only thing I don't agree with is vital energy. Bro, I have more vital energy than anybody, and I'm not supposed to generate energy. I generate better than any generator out there, okay? However, waiting to be invited, possibly that is correct. So how do you wait to be invited when you're trying to book calls and do lead gen? Well, it's kind of like being a guy. You're not going to get a girlfriend if you go to a party and you don't even fucking talk to any girls. The way I look at it as advice for projectors is you're invited kind of by their energy and by their eye contact. That doesn't mean be a dweeb and be a coward and never approach people because, oh, I'm supposed to wait for girls to come talk to me. Like, come on, bro. You know, I'm not that cool. Beautiful women are not just going to run up to me. But I think they invite you with their energy, eye contact, smile. I am extremely perceptive of people's energy. I feel their energy kind of pull on me. I can tell when it's a vibe. And all the people that I've kind of like connected with, 50 members in 3 weeks. We're going on to the fourth week now of actually building here. The first week, when you look at my grid, I got the flame emoji, but the first 7 days, really, I didn't even know what to do with my group. I mean, it was so basic. It was like stock photos of a beach. I called it soul inspired. I didn't know what I was doing. So I have to say, I have moved crazy fast in 3 weeks. You know, we're going to hit 50 members probably tomorrow. That's my goal. And then on to the next 200. I'm not even going to make 100 my next goal. My next goal is going to be 200. 200 honestly is a pretty good size, and then I'm not going to be satisfied until we hit 1,000. So we're going to go 200 and then 1,000. We'll try to have 1,000 people within 3 months. I think that's a good goal to have. 90 days, that's like 10 people a day. Um, I think it's just gonna avalanche. I am consistently getting 2 to 5 people a day, every single day. Um, so what I wanted to say, I'm taking Alex Hormozzi's advice. I'm just gonna make longer vlogs because I can literally talk forever. Maybe someone will watch this as they're cooking dinner, or I'll post this in an hour because they said 7. David fucking what's his name removed me from his group, but the one thing that I took from him was he said 7 a.m., 2 p.m., and 7 p.m. Eastern. So, okay, thank you, David, for that one nugget. I think I'm just too controversial for some people. I don't think I broke any rules, nor do I think I. Sometimes they perceive me challenging as negativity, but it's not negativity. You know, if you don't challenge people, then you're never going to level up. So, some people hate it, some people like it. I'm not a mean person. I don't challenge people to be mean. I'm just saying I know what the improvement is and I know what the optimization is. Most people are not maximized on their output. You have lazy rich people. You have rich people who, they built really amazing systems. You know, I think he was like a designer and then built like kind of AI and then was able to make effective presentations for like big companies. Probably is a millionaire now. You know, that's great, man. But different styles, I guess, of energy. I am, I think in my masculine, sometimes I can be a bit off putting and you don't know, do I like this person? Do I not? I don't know. Challenging. Well, that's the Aries energy. But I think once you get to know me, I'm actually a lovable guy. I love my cats. I love to cuddle with my cats. I'm very spiritual. I have love for everybody, but I don't know. I tend to notice what the bottleneck and what the limiter of everything is. I think that's one of my intuitive gifts. I like to look at the Mayan astrology. The white mirror reflects infinitely, infinitely reflects like energy. And it is an ascension tool. It's actually a knife. The white mirror is actually a blade in Mayan astrology, and it's made out of obsidian glass. So the glass cuts, but the glass also reflects. It's a mirror and it's also a sword or a dagger. We cut away the imperfections to make the mirror more beautiful. Sometimes I'm cutting a little too hard and it comes across as critical or whatever. I'm also an ENTJ in my Myers-Briggs. ENTJs can sometimes be, psychopaths or megalomaniacs. I don't think I have a God complex, but I do think highly of myself. I don't know. You should have a healthy amount of self-confidence, but I'm gonna try to actually just make more content because if anybody ends up watching my long ass YouTube videos, this is the fastest way to actually get to know me. But I will tell you what's working for me. I am a pretty smart guy and I am able to optimize processes very quickly. So it's like, look, you're gonna try to make viral content, and then you're also gonna try to do a lot of outbound. That's all you really can do. You can try to run ads, but I don't feel like that's the right strategy for me yet. One person suggested, spend like $20 on ads. Yeah, but I don't like Meta. I really don't like Meta as a company. I don't like their values, and I don't like the way they treat people. I don't want to give Meta money. Maybe eventually, just because it's the, necessary evil, I guess, if you can give Meta money and then Meta gives you more business. And I guess, we could do business with Zucks, although I just don't like the way you built the platform, man. I don't like how quickly you censor people. And I don't like all that fucking censorship and limiting people for speaking their beliefs, especially during 2020. Let's not talk about that. But, bro, you should never suppress people's individuality. Nobody really knows what the truth of that whole situation is either. Planned or accident. hidden agenda. I don't know, man. When you see what the news does, they blow shit out of proportion, and I don't know. We're not gonna go there into conspiracies, but I definitely did not get the, you know, what rhymes with wax, you know. Yeah, no, fuck no. I'm not putting that shit in my body. Not letting anyone control my DNA. Fuck you. Anywho, I made a lot of money during COVID actually. Everybody was so afraid and I was expanding like crazy. I was getting so much business. Everyone's like afraid and tired and I'm killing it. I tend to do better when society is like exhausted. I don't know why. Okay, you guys be all tired. I'm gonna kill it, you know? Um, my intuition just told me to go all in on this business, like you're gonna succeed and you're gonna succeed probably faster than you realize. I don't know when it's gonna happen, but I do know that eventually you're gonna feel your energy and your business take in the market. You're gonna develop like it's like a psychic kind of link with your market and your audience. It happened in both of my first two successful businesses. I've failed at a lot of things, but my two successful businesses, I could really feel it. It was like a telepathic, psychic connection to my market. Maybe because I was a projector and then the market invited me. I don't know, maybe. But both of those businesses, I got a hunch, and that hunch was always correct. And now I have a third hunch. You're going to succeed. Just go all in, be willing to burn the ships. I could take out 30,000 in debt if I wanted to. I'm not saying that's a good strategy, but I could. Maybe I should take out, another loan so I can go to Antarctica and hang out with Goose. But I don't know. I'm feeling like, half of that is a travel luxury expense. Okay. I don't know how much it costs. I think like 10K. But Goose. I already paid 1,000 for the cohort. I could, but I don't know that I should. I also have to get a passport. I don't think I'd get my passport in time, to be honest. I haven't renewed my passport yet, so probably not. But Gunta's going. I hope you have a fun time. Um. Anyways, so what is there to talk about? I'm trying to just make more. Oh yeah, this is what I'm feeling is. I think that I'm supposed to be the forerunner for a lot of people. I went to an 11/11/11 activation portal in Kansas. It was a whole thing, a conventional thing called the Earth Keepers. Some part of me thinks it's kind of half cult, half awakened community, but I was like the youngest person there. It was mostly like elderly people, like 60s and 70s. But this guy was channeling the angel Metatron, and who the fucking knows? Who knows, man, when you're channeling shit. But some people do have a link to the spiritual realm. I think Pisces has the greatest spiritual kind of like link than any sign, and I think the guy is like a Pisces. I had a Pisces girlfriend for like 1 or 2 years, 1 year, and like, I believe it. They can see angels and demons and shit. They can access, higher realms. And even Joel Osteen is a Pisces, and even though he's a Christian, like I went to Lakewood when I was in Houston, and I like Joel Osteen as a person, even though I'm not really that Christian, but I do really like Joel. And Joel is more of a personal development speaker than a pastor. But when Joel would open up prayers, I could see and feel a gigantic portal that he was channeling like to God. I could feel it. Like he would put his hands up and then he would do this, and I could feel like a giant portal open to the spirit realm. And I was like, "Oh, I feel it, bro." So, I don't have a problem with Islam. I don't have a problem with Judaism. God is God, right? But some people do have certain psychic gifts. He absolutely has a psychic ability to open portals, probably in the, astral or whatever plane. Where was I going with this? Yes, I think my spiritual job being a coach and on school is it's all intuitively guided, honestly. I just listen to my intuition. My intuition is almost never wrong, sometimes, but usually not. The intuition is it's going to pay off probably pretty quickly. Just give it everything that you've got. I'm going to give it everything I've got, and I have been. Um, what you're looking for on School Guys and like what lead generation actually is in a higher dimension is you're just looking for the bright lights. It's like every profile you open and every group, even, and every post, you can, I believe you can kind of develop a sixth sense, like a telepathy or like you can feel the vibration of the person. The more times you do this, the faster you're able to feel that vibration. I felt the vibration with Goose. You know, I think Goose is often misunderstood, but once you get over like the painted nails and whatever tie dye and like, then you start falling in love with him. He's a very lovable guy. Misunderstood, then you realize like, no, he's like a lovable person, and then you start to love them, right? But I could feel that feeling with Goose, and I feel like Goosify is like a higher dimensional group. There's not that many higher dimensional groups. The spirit of the group is gonna follow the spirit of the owner. And there's another lady. Actually, I honestly do quite like her energy. And what's her name? She is in Advertise Your School. She's a star, and it's a green color background. What is your name, honey? Her name is Lydia Wilmson. She lives in Cyprus, European. She's got a really nice energy. She's got a nice vibe. So that's a good group. It's boring to go through post after post because most of the time, honestly, 80-90% of the posts are a no. It's like a dull feeling, a boring feeling, maybe a tired feeling. So you don't have to you just get better at going through those no's so much faster. I can tell now almost immediately when can I show you? I can't do a screen share. But I can't. I have a Chrome extension that it drags it down and it's tied to my mouse wheel. So you hold Z, you scroll down in 2 seconds. It scrolls down all the way down and then boom, opens up 30 groups, 30 posts at a time. That's how I was able to go through 9,000 discovery groups. It took a while. It took about like 10 hours to do that, but I did it. And then it took even longer to transcribe the fucking every rocket. I have every rocket, crown, and diamond. I have their name and the link on a spreadsheet. I'm selling that information for $1 if you want it. You're going to have to pay me $1 because that was exhausting to do that. But I'm OCD as hell. I probably have ADHD and I might be neurospicy or something, but I have hyper focus. I can just lock in for like literally hours at a time. If it's interesting and if I really want to do it, then I can focus like locked in. But yeah, so if you're similar to me, I am curious. I'm curious if any of you would want to track your stats. That's what I help you implement, when you hire me. But you want to track your stats because you want to see what the numbers are. Out of 1,000 posts, I'm only really interested in about 100. It seems to be 10%. I'm gonna keep tracking it. Maybe that number fluctuates or changes, but I'm getting so much better at figuring out. So there's 30 posts to a page, so 10% is just 3. So yeah, if I open up 30 tabs of 30 posts every page, I always go chronologically from oldest to newest. I tend to go newest and then back unless I'm trying to learn about, a high rank, then I might go from oldest to newest, just see how they started it. But it gets really boring and it gets really tedious after a while. Like the higher resonating groups will energize you. The higher vibrational groups will give you a kind of an energy just by going through the post. It's not as stale and just than like a business group. Like when I go through the Rockets groups and a lot of them are just very red kind of sales guys, it's kind of exhausting and kind of like a dead energy. It's singularly built by the guy's desire to have money, right? And then he builds systems. All the Rockets I'm following, they begin to build systems and they have all these offer stacks. But when you really look at it, it's all the same shit. A lot of them are teaching you how to do go high level funnels and backend and email marketing, which is honestly outdated, soon to become obsolete. You're not going to need go high level anymore. You're not even going to need anything. It's going to all be organic community. That's the way that social media is headed. The reason why community is so important now these days, guys, is because we're so disconnected social, like as a species. We're craving community and depth. That's why Goose does so well. I'm thinking the heart chakra actually does the best in on school and in communities. So I may be bringing in a lot more green energy, heart energy. I'm trying to constantly kind of balance out the energy of my group. I do think a lot of people just need to have continuous amounts of fire because people get tired and they get bored and they get distracted and they lose focus. So I do think you do need to have quite a bit of yellow solar plexus energy. I'm thinking 60% is like yellow. It's a lot of yellow. But between red, orange, green, and blue, the five elements, the first five chakras, I'm thinking once it's balanced, I may actually default to green. I think green is what builds community faster, and the green groups are the green guys, which means leaders who are in tune with their heart chakra and are channeling heart chakra energy. I believe those are the groups that do the best. In a way, they're almost like energy healers. Even though Goose does not call himself an energy healer, I think he's kind of is like a healer. He's got a healing energy. Not to say he's not good at tech and business, because he is, but I think the people that do the best on school are using the heart chakra. And it's heavy to process heart chakra vibes, but the blessing of using a lot of heart chakra energy because it's so heavy is that they're able to manifest a lot of abundance and a lot of time to heal and process. I've been able to make my day's goal sometimes in literally just an hour with my last business. I mean, dude, I was able to have so much time and but I needed it because I was doing a lot of energy healing and I was making a lot of spiritual content at the time. And so the universe rewards the healers and the universe gives healers a lot of extra time because they need the time to process their energy. So you'll hear me give contradictory advice sometimes. Yes, Benjamin is grinding like a lunatic, going 16 hours a day. It's not hard for me to channel 16 hours a day. Let's say 14 realistically. It's not hard for me to channel 14 hours a day of like red and yellow energy. But when I do go into the heart chakra, it's heavy because you feel a lot of people's heaviness. And so you should understand if you're putting a healing kind of energy into your content, it's okay to need time to process. You just need more time because it's a lot more energy work and people don't understand that, nor do they really appreciate that. Healers are some of the most underpaid people on the planet. But if you stay consistent, the reward is permanent LTV and you'll be set for life. That's the opportunity that is awarded to us. Because you're healing, because you're, holding down the vibes for a lot of people, you will be able to manifest a much better life and you will be rewarded for it, but you still have to build it up. So, anyways, I'm thinking that green is the ideal color for school. But I think my group and my audience does need quite a lot of yellow, 60% probably. So I'm going to leave my yellow phone case on. But once I feel like it's a psychic thing, like I don't know, I can just feel it. Once I feel like it's balanced, then I'll add in another chakra or another element of energy. So this is orange. My new friend, I think she's very orange, but I really like her energy. And yeah, maybe we work together, maybe not. Maybe we pay each other, maybe not. But you have to understand that the value of having high vibrating people in your network is very valuable. Most of the time, guys, people's energy is worth more than money. It's just a matter of how do you use other people's energy in your mastermind and in your network. You know, like for instance, Rosita, sorry, but I mean, her energy is great. I can feel it. Her energy is so light and like very happy and supportive and kind. And I see how valuable that energy is. So we were chatting a bit this morning and I felt like a ton of her energy. in me, maybe because I'm a projector or a mirror or whatever, an empath, but I felt like I was actually using her energy and like, oh yeah, that's how you build community so fast, because it's just such a friendly, nice energy, So anyways, like when you connect with people in your mastermind and in your group and you're having these alliances, right, of people that you're talking to. You keep seeing the same people, you keep liking each other's stuff. You're on a team, you're on a tribe. It's your soul tribe. And so knowing how to use other people's energy, you know, like this orange energy, it's also great. I love orange energy too, sacrum energy. But, you know, it's more about connecting to someone honestly almost spiritually. Those are the people that you want to have in your group, especially in the beginning stages, first 50, first 200, because these are the people that are actually really growing the group. It's only about a handful of people in the entire group, but like you're all on a same vibration. You begin to attract the vibrational match, you know, like Gunta, even Z, even Neil, even Ro. I feel like we're all on a similar vibration. Like we're all on a high vibration. We're just channeling different chakras. Sometimes we're channeling multiple chakras, but you know, I look at it as like orbs of light, and the light just keeps changing. But we want to just keep that light on a very high vibe. Georgiana, like yeah, we're all on a very high vibe, and when we team up, our energy gets amplified. When our energy gets amplified from each other, it's worth more because you're able to put more energy into the marketplace. And then it's kind of like you feel the depletion of people who are not on a high vibe. And sometimes it's kind of draining, but that's why it's good to have a friends group and like a mastermind. We regenerate each other faster, we recharge each other faster. Sometimes I have a near constant amount of like root and solar plexus energy. Like I literally can produce this energy like nonstop. Okay. That's not normal for like a projector, but I'm like a power projector. Like I literally have so much fucking energy in my solar plexus and my roots. I could go like daily and never run out of energy. It's honestly pretty fucking crazy, man. But that's what I have to offer to the team in the mastermind. And in a professional context, that's what I have to offer you if you hire me. I have so much of this fucking energy, guys. It's gonna start paying off, and you're gonna see. I want all of you to witness me get that rocket. Hopefully in blazing speed, because that's what's exciting to me. Anyways, I'm getting a lot better at figuring out who to connect with on School. It's not just school, it's like also social media. It's also like if you go to a networking event or a party, like you want to develop the psychic ability to feel people's energy fast, and you know exactly who you want to go to. I'm not going to say target, but you can tell, oh, I think I would like this guy. Oh, I think I would like this girl. And don't be afraid to join their groups before they join your group. If you like them and it seems like they're resonating on your vibration, it's a vibrational match, guy, girl, platonic, or whatever. You think she's kind of cute, whatever. I'm a single guy, you know. Like, don't be afraid to give them support first. Just start supporting them. Just start going to their group, you know. I've supported every single person in my mastermind. I have gone through every single one of y'all's groups, and I've gone through every single one of y'all's posts. And when I feel inspired to comment, I do, right? So you also want to, invest into your mastermind alliance. Start giving them love. You're radiating energy. You're amplifying each other. When you amplify each other, you're able to create so much more energy, so much more light. Many bright lights can form a super light. That's how you go from a 10 to a 50. We're all 10 out of 10, in a high vibrational sense. But when we combine together, we can become seriously like 50 out of 10. That's how you access kind of God level amounts of energy, guys. That's how you manifest things like crazy fast. So we'll love for you guys to, do mastermind calls with me. Let's keep this energy going. If anyone wants to do a collab call, I'm down for the next 3 hours. I'm going to upload this now. It's about 5 o'clock. Okay, much love, guys. Keep it going.